Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I recently asked you guys if you wanted to hear some movies and shows that I would recommend to you. That's what I'm here to do today. I'm going to be recommending the best TV shows and movies to binge this fall. These are more on the creepy, ominous thriller vibe route than wholesome and family oriented. So just keep that in mind. I have 3 movies and a bunch of shows. Let's go ahead and dive in with the movies first. So the first one, I want to recommend something a little bit older. It is The Vanished. It is an hour and 55 minutes long. It is basically about this family, a mom, a dad, and their daughter, and they go on this camping trip, and immediately the daughter disappears and the parents are frantic to find her, obviously. Terrified parents launch their own investigation that soon exposes local secrets. So they go to this campground, like this RV kind of campground. They park their RV. The mom goes into the little store. The dad is distracted by something else, and then all of a sudden the daughter's gone. It's super creepy throughout. There's definitely like suspects along the way. Highly recommend. Now we're going to get into 2 more recent movie recommendations. The Guilty, which stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's an hour and 31 minutes long. You can binge it super quick. This is a remake of a 2018 Danish film by the same name. In this one, we're following like this troubled police detective that has been recently demoted to a 911 operator. And one night he receives a really disturbing 911 call, and he just becomes obsessed with handling that call. And you're not supposed to really like take the same call, but he ends up like saying, "Ask for me," and stuff like that. And he really gets invested in helping this. It's super fast paced and action packed. It is kind of like an isolated setting because we're just following the police detective. It does have like a darker tone to the movie. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like my favorite movie of all time, but it was definitely like entertaining. The last movie I want to recommend is the new release. It's based off of a book. It's kind of like a YA slasher. There's Someone Inside Your House. This one is an hour and 36 minutes, so it won't take you that long to watch it. Now, if you're not into those like cheesy YA slasher movies, steer clear of this one. But this one is about our main character, Makani, and her friends at Osborne High School trying to identify and stop a masked killer who's targeting students and exposing their biggest secrets. So if you didn't know, I read the book a few years ago now, but Stephanie Perkins wrote this YA horror book, and it's just about this masked killer going around and killing people that have these secrets, and then they're exposing the secrets. It very much follows the book from what I remember. Like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, but if you like those like teen horror flicks, you'll probably like this one. And now it is time to jump into all of the TV shows that I want to recommend. Before moving into my other show recommendations, I wanted to quickly pop in and mention the Fear Street trilogy, part 1, 2, and 3. Part 1 is set in 1994, Part 2 is set in 1978, and Part 3 is set in 1666. I definitely appreciated the second part the best, just because I love those campy thriller vibes, and that absolutely delivers, but they're all super fun YA slasher flicks. Now the first recommendation is on Hulu. All of these other recommendations that I give you today will be from Netflix, but I had to mention this one because for some reason there's people out there that like missed the memo how great this show was back during the summer. Cruel Summer. It's only 1 season right now. There are 10 episodes for you to binge, and you're gonna want to binge them. It's the story told. Every episode is from 3 different years, all in the summer. Like over 3 summers in the 1990s, a girl goes missing and another girl mysteriously takes over that girl's life. And just the coloring between the different years kind of shifts and changes, so you know which year you're in, and obviously you're allowed to follow the plot. This is like a YA show, but it's really good. I loved the story. I love the way that it was told, like the storytelling. And yeah, I definitely recommend in the summer. Yes, absolutely. but definitely in the fall because it just has those creepy vibes. All right, another one, Clickbait. If you guys have not watched it, highly recommend. It's 8 episodes, and what's so cool about this one is at the beginning of the film, there is a family like sitting down to dinner. They're kind of like squabbling, and then later that night, the brother of Pia and the husband to like another character goes missing, and then the next thing you know, there is this video that is showing him holding up these signs saying like, I abuse women, I killed a woman, when this video gets to 5 million views, I'm gonna be killed. And the sister can't believe it, the wife can't believe it, and you're just trying to find out like, is this real? Has he been kidnapped? Is this what's going on? And what's really cool about all of the episodes, the first 7 episodes are told from different points of view. So like the first episode you get the sister, the second episode you get the wife, another episode you get a reporter, the next episode you get the son. So it's just them trying to figure out like what happened to their brother, father, that sort of thing. And then the last show is the answer. It all comes together. I will say I was a little bit let down by the ending. It was one of those endings that I personally didn't see coming, and I kind of felt like, I don't know. I'm just going to let you watch it because it's really, really good, and you're just going to want to binge watch the entire show. So if you do, let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Taking the World by Storm, Squid Game, highly recommend. I heard it was like super gruesome and stuff like that, and it is. I mean, like, people are dying in the movie. It's basically about this group of people that are like strapped for cash, down on their luck. They get the chance to play these childhood games, and they get this, there's this huge prize on the line to win. So hundreds of cash-strapped contestants and accept an invitation to compete in children's games for a tempting prize, but the stakes are deadly. So this one does get bloody. People get shot, people get killed, but the mix of the stylizing of the show, the colors, the characters, you really get to know the people playing these roles, and it definitely gets a little bit emotional at times, but that one is only 9 episodes, and it did set it up for like a season 2, which I would totally watch. Yeah, definitely recommend Squid Game. All right, obviously the classic You, which is based on the book by Caroline Kepnes. There are 3 seasons. The 3rd season just dropped recently. This is about Jo Goldberg, who is this obsessive killer, stalks women. He starts as a bookstore manager who crosses paths with an aspiring female writer, and his crush becomes something even more sinister when the writer becomes the manager's obsession. Using social media and the internet, he uses every tool at his disposal to become closer to her, even going so far as to remove any obstacle, including people, that stands in his way of getting her. And loved the 1st season, loved the 2nd season, have not watched the 3rd season, but I'm hearing really good things. So definitely check out You. If you've read the book, great. If you haven't read the book and have no interest in reading it, definitely. I've only read the 1st book, You, because I heard the 2nd book was kind of and I haven't really heard great things or much of anything about the 3rd book, but highly recommend the shows. I love who they cast for the different characters. Next is Lock and Key, and it will have 2 seasons as of the Friday that I am filming this. So tomorrow will be Friday. So there will be 2 seasons of Lock and Key. This follows, oh, this is also based off of a graphic novel series. So if you've read those, you're definitely going to watch this. This is more like kind of like a Disney-ish type show, but like a dark Disney. It's following their father's murder. 3 siblings move into a house filled with these reality bending keys, and each key does something different, and they find them in this house and they're using the keys, and it's like it can open up your mind, and it can, you know, open up this door to the past and just different things. I love the writing, I love the vibe. Yeah, I'm always interested in like, what keys are they gonna find in this episode? Okay, another classic is American Horror Story. There are 9 seasons, and I don't know what they're doing currently. They're doing like shorts, and they're doing a regular season. I'm not really sure. I haven't kept up with the more recent episodes, but I was watching it religiously, like Murder House, and the second one I think was the Asylum, and then the Witch Coven. I skipped Freak Show Circus. I watched A Haunted Hotel. The Farmhouse I watched. The Cult I need to watch. The Apocalypse I need to watch. I definitely want to watch the Slasher Summer Camp. And then there's like this beach town and desert valley thing going on. But there are 9 seasons. The acting is superb. The storytelling is ominous and creepy throughout. My favorite of the ones that I have watched is the Witch Coven one, which is the 3rd season. So I highly recommend that one, but I definitely want to binge some more seasons of this spooky season for myself. So I will probably be doing that. Now the next one isn't as creepy, but it has more like an unsettling true crime feel to it, and it is Mindhunter. Right now it has 2 seasons. I'm hoping they're doing more. This is back before FBI agents had serial killer profiling available to them. So this is about our main characters kind of figuring out how to profile serial killers. So they're following serial killers and the things that they're doing, and they're interviewing them and figuring out how it all works. So catching a criminal often requires the authorities to get inside the villain's mind to figure out how he thinks, he or she. That's the job of FBI agents Holden Ford and Bill Tench. They attempt to understand and catch serial killers by studying their damaged psyches. Along the way, the agents pioneer the development of modern serial killer profiling. Now, it did take me a little bit to get into this one, so just give it a few episodes and then I think you will definitely be hooked. All right, obviously another classic, but I haven't watched all of them yet, so I can't speak to the entire like franchise, but Black Mirror, there are currently 5 seasons. I don't know if they're doing more. This is like the modern day Twilight Zone episodes. They are sharp, suspenseful, satirical tales that implore techno-paranoia, stories that tap into the collective unease about the modern world, particularly regarding both intended and unintended consequences of new technologies and the effect they have on society and individuals. Each story features its own unique cast and characters. This is a show that I literally have to watch in bits and pieces because it is really out there, but they're so interesting and it definitely gives you food for thought. Next one is The Rain, and this one I think is like a Danish film as well, but it's like dubbed or something like that. Love this one. There are 3 current seasons. It's a Scandinavian film, sorry. So the world as we know it has come to an end due to a rain-carried virus that wipes out nearly everybody in Scandinavia. 6 years after the event, 2 Danish siblings emerge from the safety of the bunker where they have been staying. So the very beginning of the novel, the kids are at school, the parents are doing their jobs, and then this rain comes down and their father like takes them to this bunker, and then for some reason the parents like go off and it's just the kids left in this bunker, like I said, for 6 years. And then after 6 years the bunker kind of like, it's the end of the life cycle of the bunker, like the food and everything like that, the air, the lights, all that. So they have to venture outside, but you're worried about this rain situation. So really, really cool. If you like The Walking Dead, I think you would like this. If you like those post-apocalyptic dystopia type stories, definitely check this out. Love the characters, love the coloring of the film. And yeah, I don't think that many people have watched it. Another one that is like a dystopian type one is 3%. And I believe this one is a Brazilian remake. It's set in the distant future where most of the population lives in poverty in the area known as the inland. And there was this elite group, though, that's chosen to live in a virtual paradise, the offshore. So everybody lives on the inland, and then there is this like place that you can go when you turn like when you turn 20 years old. You get the chance to make it to the paradise by taking a series of tests. Only 3% of the candidates succeed in qualifying to leave the inland and go to the offshore. and the characters that compete and the games that they play. It's just so cool. I was so obsessed with this show. It's just so wild. Now, like I said, there are 3 seasons. I still think that the original season, season 1, is my favorite, but season 2 and season 3 are just as cool. So yeah. Next one is a little bit niche. There are 2 parts, so basically like 2 seasons. This is about a young woman named Prairie Johnson who has been gone. She disappeared for 7 years and now she has returned home. The interesting thing is when she left, she was blind. When she came back 7 years later, she has her sight. So that's like an adjustment for her. That's an adjustment for her parents, FBI agents, the parents. Everybody's like, where were you? What happened? And she doesn't really want to talk about what happened during the time that she went missing. But over the course of the story, we obviously find out, and it's a very cool, also very creepy. Highly recommend you check it out. I think that one has been canceled. The next one, Ratchet. Oh my gosh, this one is only 8 episodes, but it's set in like the 1940s, but it's not like black and white. So it's, oh, and this one has Sarah Paulson in it, and she is Nurse Ratchet, and she is freaking amazing, like in anything else that she's in. Mildred Ratchet, she's a young nurse working at a leading psychiatric hospital. She has this like stylish exterior, but inside she's like this dark, twisted mofo. And she becomes jaded and bitter before turning into a full-fledged monster to her patients. So good. Only 8 episodes. Definitely check it out. And then the last 2 that I'll mention, just in case you haven't watched them. I know it took me a while to get on the bandwagon with this one. The Haunting of Hill House, 10 episodes. Highly recommend. It's really good. It took me 3 years to watch it though. The first year I watched like the first 3 episodes. The second year I watched the first 3 episodes. And then finally on the 3rd year I made it through the season. So I don't know if it was exactly a year, but every time I sat down to try it, I was like, I need to start over at the beginning. Highly recommend, really enjoy. And if you like that one, they have The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is 9 episodes. And it does have some of the same actors, kind of like American Horror Story does, but it's a completely different story. So in the Hill House, it's an anthology series. So flashing between the past and the present, a fractured family confronts haunting memories of their old home and the terrifying events that drove them from it. And then in Bly Manor, you have a young governess who arrives at the manor and begins to see apparitions haunting the estate. So those are the movies and shows that I think would be great to binge when you're still in the mood for something spooky, thrilling, ominous, that sort of thing. Some of these are more like recent watches for me, and some of these are ones that I've watched in the past and I definitely wanted to recommend to you guys. Next month, I'm hoping to do a more like family oriented, you know, found family, that sort of thing recommendation. So stay tuned for that. Let me know if you just like me sitting here talking about the movies. I hope you do. You asked for it. I'm trying to deliver, but that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye guys.